Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Ashe, and we'll be facing off against the Aurelion Sol adventure from the Legends of Arcane adventure. I recently got Ashe up to 6R, so I decided to go on a little test run to see how else she fares off against a hard adventure. Theoretically it should be fine. She's very good at stalling out the game, and then I have a fun little setup. I'm taking triple Curator's Gatebreaker because since the 6 Star Ashe buffs the attack of units in hand by the amount of attack that she reduces on the opponent's units, we can get this Ashe up to a very high amount, and then we just drop Ashe down and she deals a billion damage to the opponent's nexus, and that just wins us the game. And to get to that point, we just rely on frostbites and controlling the board with the Rimefang Wolf to stall things out. Hopefully things will work out. We just need to try and draft as many Rimefang Wolves as possible, I think, because those are the best cards in the deck. That and the Flash Freeze, I suppose. None of these powers are that appealing. Can I get something better here? I don't know. Piltover's Finest draws us Flash Freeze sometimes. Let's reroll once. Pyromania, Military Training, Blighted Blessing. These are all rare, but they're worse somehow. Warlord's Pledge. So many friends. I'll take the reinforced formation. It's going to be interesting to double up on some of our units, but I think it might work out. We can duplicate the wolves to keep control of the board. Let's try to mulligan aggressively for the Rimefang Wolves. Yeah, there they are. Try to keep the Flash Freeze in hand just in case. The opponent's Sage when he gets brought down to 0 attack. If he doesn't have removal for the Rimefang Wolf, that thing just dies right now. Yep, perfect. There goes a major threat gone just like that, and that's why Rimefang Wolf is the centerpiece of this deck. That and the Ashe. Ashe now deals 3 times 9, which is 21. We just need to get her up to 40. Let's use the conscription here. Get another Rimefang Wolf. Let's drop down the Omen Hawk. Ideally we want to minimize the amount of cards in hand in order to go ahead and make it so all the buffs go on Ashe. Let's get rid of this unit, get rid of this one. We can trade this one in, and if he wants to let that hit, okay, he doesn't. I figured he wouldn't want that unit to hit the opponent's nexus. Just need to get Ashe up to 10 attack? No, not 10 attack. 10 attack deals 30. 11 attack deals 33. So not yet. If the opponent attacks me here, I kill him next turn. That's fine. Since I have basically infinite Rimefang Wolves, I can take this trade. And next turn I trade in with my units, soften up the opponent's nexus a little bit, and then we just drop down Ashe. And the opponent dies. Who needs to level up Ashe when you just kill the opponent? It's a cheesy strat, but it's kind of fun to pull off. just control the board and then end the opponent in one turn. Against Aurelion Sol is going to be a bit harder, because Aurelion Sol will have 99 health, so we would need to get Ashe up to 30 at least. Fulfill your mana and spell mana. You know what, I'm taking that. Sounds fun. To just be able to go for a huge turn whenever I choose. We would want something that's a bit more on the controlling side, I guess. Like Senna, but Senna unfortunately doesn't really synergize with our deck. Let's reroll once. Star Ashe, Aurelion Sol, Mordekaiser. If I pick Aurelion Sol, I'll have healing. If I pick Star Ashe, I can pull Ashe out of my deck, but pulling Ashe out of my deck does nothing. Mordekaiser might level up quickly. Sure, let's pick up Mordekaiser. Slotbot, spell chest, or a healer. Let's go for the healer. Let's try to keep our deck as small as possible to increase our consistency. We're going to mulligan all of these. I want the Rimefang Wolves. Oh, that's unfortunate. We didn't draw this with our Farsight Alteration. And the opponent starts off the game with a Fiora. How do I want to do this? Can go for the Legion of the Severed here at the start. Can also try to go for a big first turn. I'm going to need it. This will give us more card draw. Then I can do this. Soften up the Fiora a little bit while drawing a card. Next turn Fiora is going to get frostbitten again, but if she pulls something she gets buffed up. That's the problem I have.
She's not impressed.
Let's try to wait an attack from the opponent.
New recruit reporting in.
Might not even attack with the frostbitten units, but we'll see if the opponent's smart enough. Okay, he is smart enough to know that his units get buffed up when he attacks. It's fine, I'll take the 3 and I'll kill the opponent's unit next turn. Keep getting more copies of the Rimefang Wolf. Ashe is leveled up. Will attack like so. If he... Okay, I figured he would have protection for the Fiora, but I guess I was wrong. Do I want to draw more cards? This kills the opponent, doesn't it? It's 60 minus 3, which is 57. So that just kills the opponent. That was quick. We ended up getting lucky and hitting Ashe with a bunch of buffs. Oh, and also I have to remember that as soon as I dropped on the leveled up Ashe, she'll get +1 attack. That might change the math sometimes. Genevieve, Helmheart, Incisive Tactician, crowd favorite. I'll pick up the crowd favorite just because it's cheap, or the cheapest option. Let's get rid of this, the Alpha Wild Claw. It's a bit too expensive to keep around. It's definitely the worst card in the deck. Let's do this again. Just toss everything. Try to get the Rimefang Wolves. There it is. We got one. If I struck a unit with 0 power, it just needs to strike. It doesn't need to kill, right?
place reeks of foul magic.
This wastes a bit of mana, but it's better because next turn I'll be able to go for the conscription. Yeah, it just needs to strike even if the opponent's unit has barrier. It just results in his unit dying. Good. That's the Lux down. Let's summon another Triumphant Wolf.
Mages can't hide from me.
I guess I'll use the Death's Grasp to get rid of that thing.
My call.
Just to keep stuff under control. Ashe is at 9. Unfortunately, 9 is not enough.
A chill in the air.
Stay safe, my lady. Mages
Ooh.
are everywhere.
The opponent didn't learn that he can't just summon Lux onto a board that has Rimefang Wolves. Well, this just secures the victory next turn. The 16 damage gets us there. Yeah, you can summon 2 5-cost units. It doesn't matter at this point.
I'll lead us to victory. Faster than my arrow?
I honestly figured that even if we were frostbiting 2 units a turn,
Peace.
like we're doing now, we would still be in trouble because the opponent would just fill large boards and we would struggle with that. But so far that hasn't happened. Oh, that's lucky. More sources of frostbite are always welcome. Kind of want the Icefell Archer, but +1 cost is really turning me off from it. Let's go for the cheaper Avros and Trapper instead. And then I can choose either a shop or a healer. I have a bunch of money. 29 cards. Let's go for the shop. See what we get here. Cash back on the Harsh Winds. Nah, let's reroll this coin, I guess. We will eventually stack a little bit of money from the coins, and that will just allow us to go for a explosive turn like we've been doing with the 1 cost spell we have. Definitely keeping the Rimefang Wolf in hand. I think I can keep the Avros and Trapper as well. Viktor has 0 attack. We need to ensure that Viktor has 0 attack at the end of the, or as after the opponent has spent all his mana. He's definitely going to buff up Viktor with the 2 hex cores, so I need to bait him until then. So let's hold off on playing the Rimefang Wolf until the opponent has run out of mana. Let's do Avaros and Sentry.
These old eyes still see far and clear. They must all improve.
I think I've messed up. I won't be able to go Icewell Archer into Rimefang Wolf, unfortunately. At least not this turn. But Viktor is going to be debuffed next turn. Let's drop down the Rimefang Wolf anyway. I can't properly attack, but fine. Viktor gets set to 0 again. He levels up here. Let's get another Rimefang Wolf.
Humankind must realize its full
I would like it if he spent all of his mana. It's going to allow me to draw one, okay.
Alert the village!
Take 10 here. Can afford to play a little bit with my health because I will heal up to full after this. This might dissuade him from attacking. Right, Viktor has quick attack and challenger.
Tread carefully.
This is technically still fine. I'm only taking 3. I just need to save the Iceville Archer for the next turn, I think. Next turn Viktor gets frostbitten, and then I can frostbite another one of those units. Like so. Maybe I should have gone for the attack. Yeah, I should have gone for the attack.
Electroplating completed.
Does this kill the opponent? No. Actually, yes it does. What am I saying? It's 28 times 3, not times 2.
Avarosa, guide me.
We have more than enough damage already. Well, even with me messing up in a significant manner, we still had
Now we rebuild.
a way to win. It's very fair to just be able to deal 60 plus damage without the opponent having a chance to react. Ooh, does Black Cleaver work? I wonder, let's test it out. Shop. Caught in the cold, it's slow but it's decent. So many friends, give us early board presence I guess. 3 sisters. I think it works out for us nicely. It's just more copies of the Flash Freeze. Ooh. And then here we have a Smooth Soloist. Let's go for the Smooth Soloist. There's no way we can deal with Viego. After all, we'll just be frostbiting him every turn. And we'll also frostbite the mists. Let's toss everything back. Come on, Rhinefang Wolf. No Rhinefang Wolves. That's unlucky. At least we have Ashe in our opening hand. There it is. There's our boy. Let's do a Frozen Sentry. Wattled Constellation. We'll do Rhinefang Wolf. The opponent's just refusing to use any card that generates encroaching mists, so the Viego just dies to the Rhinefang Wolf here. The Mordekaiser is going to absorb a lot of buffs. Let's drop down this. Omen Hawk. Let's go for the Avarosan Trapper, I suppose. Opponent's attacking with something. We could use the 3 sisters. I think this is just as... This works out just as well. And then we can conscription for another Rhinefang Wolf. We'll just get rid of these 2. I think we can use the Avarosan Trapper as well. Let's attack with the Poros too. Try to deal as much damage to the opponent's Nexus so we don't need to get dashed to such a high attack stat. This is not enough. Let's pass the turn. We waste a bunch of mana, but I think it's fine. That's a large vehicle. Fortunately, we already have little. 60 plus 8 plus 2 is 12, so it's 72. 72 damage to the opponent's Nexus.
Think not.
Okay, the Black Cleaver doesn't work.
Now
We
rebuild.
didn't end up buffing the Ashe's attack stat before the strikes. Well, it's still more copies of Ashe, so it's fine. Cracking Ice, it's just another form of Frostbite. I could go for the healer, but I don't think I need to. And now it transforms. Single combat, spells and skills. It feels bad to reroll a legendary power, but we have no better options. Sure. Gives us more mana to work with. Karma should pose no challenge. And then we go for the healer to try and cut a card. Let's mulligan everything. We want the Rimefang Wolves. There's our boy. Ooh, we don't get an Ashe in our opening hand though. That might put an Emperor in our plans. We can try and draw into an Ashe. Well, I fill up my mana by a bunch with the Bottled Constellation now. Do I try to wait out the Rimefang Wolf? Nah. Let's just drop him down.
I won't stand by.
I doubt the opponent has anything that can be used to buff up his unit's attack.
Snap out of it, sister. There's fighting to be done.
This is how I fight.
Let's frostbite this for the next turn. Just in case. Ooh. That's a high roll. Waste a little bit of mana, but I want to go for the Mordekaiser here.
Hardened scales.
Imagination is
And
not
just like that, the opponent has no mana.
instinct is no substitute for planning.
That's great. Because we can just kill it with the Rimefang Wolf here. Suppose we'll do this with the Mordekaiser. And just throw everything at the opponent. Because I want to level up the Mordekaiser. We did waste the Cracking Ice. But we don't have Ashe in hand, so not like it really matters if we buff up the units that we have in hand. Ooh. That's going to be interesting. We have a bunch of interesting plays here. Let's conscription one of the Yetis for the card draw. We might try to kill the Mordekaiser here with the Feral Mystic, but fortunately we have Flash Freeze, yep. Just like I expected. Now we finally have Ashe in hand, so we can start buffing her up. Let's just
Imagination is not experience.
Realm of Death here
Instinct is no substitute
for fun.
planning.
Yeah, sure, let's clear my own board.
This prison is yours.
Does this level up Mordekaiser, I wonder? Yes, it does. Would you look at that? We'll manage to level up Mordekaiser. Well, At least we can say we leveled up Mordekaiser, even though it's completely irrelevant. I'm just going to attack again. Star Ashe is not really buffed up, so we can't rely on her to close out the game. So might as well just do this.
You act, but do not see.
Well, I guess this Ashe is a little bit more buffed up, but still, she only has 30 damage in her. And the opponent is now playing extremely small units for some reason. You can just pay 10 mana for a rally. I'm going to do that. Ooh, do I really have to sit through the animations even though I'm not actually summoning the champions? That's unlucky. I guess the words on the card do say that you level up both champions up to 3. But still. This does make it so we can use this Ashe to close out the game next turn, so I suppose it's worth it. Yeah, unfortunately for your opponent that's not going to be relevant. We're just going to drop down Ashe on top of you and then you die.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Turns out the best way to use a bow is to beat people over the head with.
The war is over. Now we rebuild.
Ooh, we're facing off against Tryndamere. I didn't even realize. That's going to be interesting. Because we won't be able to kill stuff with the Rimefang Wolves that easily. Sure, let's buff up the Omen Hawk. Now I might cut it from the deck because it's a bit more expensive. Enfeebling Strike: when you damage an enemy, reduce its power by the damage dealt. This does work with our power, normally doesn't. When you decrease an enemy's power, yeah, it's just when you decrease in general, you don't even need to go for the frostbite effects. If I had money, I would go for the Vi, just on the off chance that I got either the legendary power or the +1 starting mana. But I don't have a lot of money, so let's go for the bottom path. At least the bottom path is guaranteed to give me something that I might use. Let's actually keep Ashe, keep the Rimefang Wolf, toss everything else. Timo levels up immediately at the start, so I'm going to have a target for the Rimefang Wolf immediately.
Ooh, quite a collection.
Can go for Omen Hawk, Rimefang Wolf. Give the opponent an opportunity to do something. Wait, what? Why does Timo have to attack? He shouldn't have to attack, he should just have 0 attack, just like everything else. That puts a severe dent in my plans. Can no longer use the Rimefang Wolf to kill Timo. Might not be able to use the Rimefang Wolf to kill Timo. But I can still deal a bit of damage to the opponent Timo, which will in turn reduce its attack value. And that also works nice. So by doing that we buffed up the units in our hand by 6 attack and by an additional 2 respectively. Let's drop down the Rimefang Wolf. Ashe is already at 10. Going to have 30 in to the buff cap up, but it's fine. But Let's set up so that thing gets frostbitten next turn. Then we kill Timo and the buff cap up. She's at 16. We need to get her at least up to 30 to be able to kill both the units. Or the opponent's nexus, I should say. Why am I thinking about killing the units? That's not part of our plan. Let's do this. I think it's correct to drop on the General's Palace here. It will allow me to attack next turn.
How goes the training, Scout? I'm so excited I could explode, sir.
We're just 9 off. We'll get there next turn. Unless the opponent decides to attack right away. That would be a problem.
Always right.
He attacks right away. Well, it should still be fine. We reduce the opponent's attack value here. We would need the opponent to have units that are a little bit more buffed up. Let's see if we can weight him into playing another unit. Perfect.
Turtles in uniform do like a whoop.
Now we're guaranteed to win. We can just use our coins to refill our mana. Then we play the Ashe, and then we win. Actually, no, it's not guaranteed. It's not just yet, because Ashe doesn't deal the opponent's full health total as damage. But after this attack, we win. The opponents can't even block. I suppose we could do that sometimes too. Just play the Ashe and then go for a swing, and the leftover damage is enough to win. Or the damage we have on board is enough to finish off the opponent's leftover health. Do I want flash freeze? Yes, but no, with the storm calling clutters of my hand too much, I think. Infinity Edge, Immortal Quick Strike Blade. Yeah, let's pick up the Infinity Edge. It's +2 attack on the Ashe, so that in turn translates into more damage to the opponent's Nexus. And let's use the healer to make some cuts. Definitely the crowd favorite. It's among the weaker cards in the deck right now. Let's try to keep things consistent. I might go for the healer encounter after the next encounter, just to cut a card from our deck. We unfortunately don't get Fang Wolf. But it might be fine, because we can't really go for kills on the opponent's units against this opponent.
Lift with your back, not
That kind of messes us up, but it's also fine because we debuff the opponent's unit. As long as we can keep the opponent's units at 0 attack, he doesn't pose any threat.
I smell a fight.
That's an early Tryndamere. Fortunately, we can now permanently frostbite him. I'll wait on my units. Ashe's already at 16 here, 21 here. Well, when the opponent has a very massive unit on the board, I suppose our units also grow extremely fast.
Strong. Your skill will come.
Let's do this. Never mind, I wanted to get more Avaros and Sentries in order to damage the opponent's units with the Challenger and the high attack, to make sure that they don't get Their attack's too high. But things didn't work out. Let's do this here. I suppose I can obliterate this, forgo the effect from the last breath. I'm just going to do this. Ensure that Tryndamere has 11 less attack. Makes him a little bit less threatening.
I won't fail.
This is a 34 attack Ashe, so this will just be enough to close out the game.
This would be a good. Not just flesh, rage incarnate.
This goes down to 8 only. I guess I have to pull the trigger here. Frostbite with the flash freeze. Take 2. Let's use our... I'll use the coin. And then we... 36 times 3. It's more than enough.
Aim is true.
It's like 112... 120-ish something.
Now begins a new era of peace.
Well, the opponent high rolled by dropping down the Tryndamere as soon as he hit 6 mana. It's not really a high roll, he already had Tryndamere in hand, but still, it would have been scary if you managed to pull off an attack with it. Ooh. Do I want the Rime Tusk Shaman? I think so. I think I want a bunch of Rime Tusk Shamans, one more Three Sisters, and then instead of going for the Jinx, we go for the Jhin, and we trim down our deck. An epic power might be good, but I don't think it's good enough. I could also have spent my leftover money on the shop on that power for the flash bomb traps, but do I really need flash bomb traps? I don't think so. That's the Ashe. If we don't get Rime Fang Wolf, it's fine, because we now have alternatives. Let's do this. I'll do Bottled Constellation.
Gotcha.
Just fill up our mana again.
No, I haven't seen what the other trick does.
Ooh. I don't want the opponent to have that, so let's do this.
Back to the sum.
The Mordekaiser's spells coming in handy.
See the Nebastian border
Something
from
I
here.
didn't really expect.
For the homestead. Safeguard
Let's
our
see if the opponent wants to block the Frozen Sentry. It does. I think I can mount on top of this trade. I definitely benefit more from having an empty board on both sides than the opponent does. Ashe's already leveled up and she's already at 13 attack. Yeah, we're kind of using the opponent's strength against him.
first big mission.
Turns out the opponent having a bunch of high attack units actually works out better for us than it does for him.
Ready? I've got us covered.
I'll take the 2 here, it's fine. Next turn you can even drop down the Rime Tusk Shaman. Start ramping up the hand buffing even more.
Bring me the calm of an
And we have
unshrouded world.
a small amount of units in hand. In fact, I can even do this. Ensure that we have no units in hand other than Ashe now, so all of the buffs are going directly to Ashe. And with the opponent not blocking here, that just ensures our victory next turn. Yeah, 58 damage times 3, it's 150
Fills up my
something. Actually 168, I think. So the opponent's dying here.
Rosa, guide me.
It's an interesting way to play the game.
Arrow.
Instead of your champion being your win con by being on the board,
We rebuild.
you use your champion as a win con, but by just having him sit in your hand, doing nothing for the majority of the game. A frozen sentry, I guess, for the card draw, even though the quick strike blade is not something I like. Let's cut the Dulski Snow Dog, maybe? Legion of the Severed, perhaps? Let's cut Legion of the Severed.
On my wings.
Nivea and Irelia. Irelia might be challenging because of the fact she gets the blades, but Nivea doesn't really strike me as the kind of fight we would struggle against, because the opponent might just be dissuaded from attacking with the Nivea, thanks to the constant frostbite effects. Okay, so Nivea 0 attack. Let's drop on the Omen Hawk. Double frostbites immediately. Let's ensure that thing gets frostbitten next turn. Let's refill our mana. I would like to conscription here. Omen Hawk, I think. And I'm dealing 1 damage to the Nivea. Just for the sake of ensuring it has 1 less attack. It's a second Ashe. I need to save the flash freeze for the massive unit it just gave, either spell shield or overwhelm that he has in hand. I can use the Death Grasp to debuff that. So I'll conscription a Omen Hawk. Very nice is a problem. Fortunately, I can do this, minimize the amount of damage I take here. He's still going to attack me with the Feral Mystic, okay. I thought he would attack with a Nivea as well, but he decided against it. Oh! We have lethal. Didn't realize Ashe got these many buffs.
Rosa, guide me.
Well, that was basically instantaneous. I could have even dropped down Ashe last turn. I just wasn't paying attention.
Now begins a new era of peace.
Time for the real challenge though. The blades are going to be a problem. They'll not only eat up our frostbite effects from the... what's it called? Treacherous terrain. The opponent is also going to buff up the Irelia, so she won't have it exactly 0 attack. I guess after I strike Irelia once, she will always have 0 attack even if she gets buffed up. But still, it's going to be a challenge, I think. Probably gets debuffed, yeah. Then attack Omen Hawk, seems fair. Let's do this, then a Frozen Trapper for the draw. Recalling our Omen Hawk, I see.
A line around me.
I'll take the one. Just one is fine. Drop down here, the Frozen Trapper. Let's refill our mana. I suppose I'll play the Omen Hawk again.
I'm through waiting.
Now the Irelia should have a constant 0 attack, because while the Frostbite debuff allows for attack gain, the Enfeebling Strike one doesn't. Actually, no. She is still going to get an attack buff because she goes up to 8 again and then she goes back down. That's annoying. Well, at least I only need to do this to preserve my health. 26, not enough. Let's drop down the Adultski Snow Dog. Another Blade Dance. I can Frostbite, so it's fine. In fact, I can kill the Irelia here. I'm not passing that opportunity up. And this is enough to close out the game, because all the buffs went to Ashe. Turns out things were a bit easier than I expected. But against Aurelion Sol, there's still the opportunity to mess up, because the opponent can develop a whiteboard very quickly, and the opponent's units are very large. I suppose that also translates into a larger amount of attack buff for my Ashe. I think it will depend. It feels bad, but I have to take this here. Unfortunately, Stormcalling is not great on the Three Sisters, especially with how full my hand is at all times. Ashe, Icefield Archers, Rhymetusk Shaman. Let's keep the Ashe, and I'll keep the Icefield Archers just in case. Ooh, we got a second copy of it. Turns out it wasn't necessary to keep it in hand. Our Ashes are already at a very high attack value. Let's do this. Drop down the Omen Hawk. I think I'll double up on the Omen Hawk with the Conscription Bottle, the Constellation. Just so I can hopefully trade into that thing as well. Guess the opponent didn't want to trade into that. Well, the Frostbites delay the Aurelion Sol level up, which is nice. Never mind, the opponent got the level up through the Kale he just summoned. I definitely need to Frostbite the Kale. Let's Frostbite the Kale. 31 damage on the Ashe.
Your fate has been decided.
That's enough, right? Oh yeah, it's more than enough. We'll just use our coins. Turns out the coins are extremely useful as well. And game over for the opponent. Yeah, Ashe seems super powerful. It's just a different kind of power than say, for example, Swain. You just stall out the game for a while and then just kill the opponent with a single strike. Or in my case, just 3 separate strikes that deal a bunch of damage each. That was very fun. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.